the Hollow Grove. The townsfolk said Elias Cutter loved the forest more than people. He was a lumberman by trade, but to him the woods were more than timber. They were cathedral, confessional, and grave. Elias's carvings were famous across 3 counties. Great wooden statues lined the trails, deer poised mid-leap, owls with unblinking eyes, maidens with hair like rippling bark. But only Elias knew what lay beneath the carvings, because Elias Cutter had secrets. He didn't just carve wood, he carved people into the trees. With his axe and chisel, he hollowed great trunks, pressing his victims inside. Then he sealed them with wood shavings, resin, and artful designs. Their muffled cries faded as the trees swallowed them. Days later, only silence remained, and Elias smiled at his newest masterpiece. One autumn, when the maples bled scarlet, Elias met Clara. She came to town in a red cloak, selling books and herbs. Her laugh was like water over stone, and her eyes burned brighter than lantern light. Elias felt something strange the first time she touched his hand, something he hadn't felt in years. Warmth. They began to walk the forest paths together. Clara admired his carvings, running her fingers across the wooden owl wings, the stag horns. "They're beautiful," she said, "but they feel sad." Elias stiffened. "Sad? As if something is trapped inside, waiting." He laughed too quickly. "Imagination." Clara tilted her head, unconvinced. One night, Clara lingered behind as Elias chopped wood near his cabin. She wandered down a shadowed path to a grove of his newest statues. Moonlight spilled across them. A wooden maiden stood with her mouth half open, as though caught mid-scream. Clara touched the lips. The bark was damp. She leaned close and thought she heard, no, felt, a faint moan. Another statue, an old man bent with age, had eyes that seemed wet. She pressed her ear to the trunk. A whisper shivered through her bones. "Help me." Clara stumbled back, heart pounding. The woods groaned as if alive. Dozens of voices muffled under bark. She ran. When she returned, Elias was waiting, axe in hand. His face was calm, but his eyes glowed feverishly. "You saw," he said softly. Clara's breath came fast. "What have you done?" "They live on in my wood," Elias replied. "Not gone, transformed. The forest keeps them safe. The trees, they love me for it." "You're mad," she whispered. Elias stepped closer, lowering the axe. "Mad, maybe. But I love you, Clara. More than the trees. More than my wood. Stay with me. I'll never carve again. I swear it." For a moment, she believed him. Then the wind shifted, carrying a chorus of muffled wails from the grove. The sound clawed at her heart. Clara's eyes hardened. "No, you'll never stop that night," Clara pretended. She smiled. She touched his hand. She let him believe. Elias drank wine by the fire, his body relaxing, his eyelids drooping. When he finally fell into a deep sleep, Clara rose. She took his own axe, heavy and cold, and dragged him through the woods to the grove. He stirred once, muttering her name, but she pressed a cloth to his mouth until he slumped again. At dawn, she began to carve. Clara worked as Elias had worked, but with fury and love. She split open a towering oak, its insides yawning like a mouth. She shoved him inside, his head lolling against the hollow. His eyes fluttered open at last. "Clara?" His voice cracked. "You loved your trees," she said, sweat pouring down her face. "Now you can stay with them forever." "No, wait." Her axe fell. Shavings and resin sealed him in. His fists pounded weakly against the inside as she carved the bark closed. His muffled screams became part of the chorus. Clara carved the final touch. His likeness, mouth open wide, eternal silence. When the last stroke was done, the grove shuddered. Bark split. Statues cracked open like eggshells. One by one, pale figures stumbled out, gaunt, trembling. but alive. Dozens of them, men, women, children, blinking into the light. The trees sighed with relief, sap running like tears. The forest felt lighter, as though exhaling after years of suffocation. Clara stood among them, bloodied hands gripping the axe. Behind her, the yoke with Elias's form sealed tight, pulsed once, twice, then stilled. His carving remained, eyes wide, forever trapped. The victims gathered around Clara, whispering thanks, sobbing into her cloak. She smiled faintly, though her own heart broke. She had freed them, but the forest would never forget what Elias Cutter had done, and neither would she. And somewhere deep inside the oak, if you pressed your ear close enough, you could still hear him whispering her name.